For UNC Asheville, the 2011-12 season was a combination of moments. All of those moments, good and bad, led the Bulldogs to this, a moment that they had dreamed about their entire lives, a moment that was earned through years of sacrifice, a moment where they could make history. However, some moments force us to realize that we are not the makers of history, but that we are made by it. In the summer of 2011, UNC Asheville opened its new Wilma M. Sherrill Center, featuring the new home of UNC Asheville basketball, the Kimmel Arena. The new arena offered the Bulldogs and their fans a new and improved home venue, while also giving the community of Asheville a place to call their own.
To move into the new building, to have the Kimmel Arena in the Wilma Sherrill Center as our home court, started it off as we thought would be a great year. And then to have the kind of season, we expected to have a good year, but to have the kind of year that we had was simply tremendous.
The date was November 13th, and finally, the game that everyone had been talking about for 3 years was finally here. UNC Asheville officially opened up Kimmel Arena on that date when it welcomed the top-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels to Asheville.
Open up the new arena with North Carolina, play them in a really good game, and a game that we felt like we'd had, maybe DJ with us, a big guy, and maybe just played a little bit better, hit a few more shots, so we could have really been in the game at the end.
It would have been even better if we would have won. Basically, if we'd have made a few more shots, maybe if I would have made a shot.
I mean, it was. Soon we scheduled them, the hype was there, people were talking about it all around the city. You're getting phone calls and text messages, weeks and weeks before, you're hosting the #1 team, in the nation at home. That says enough itself.
For the program, it was a humongous stepping stone, because I don't think a team that big has came to UNC Asheville to play a game, and I mean, yes, there were a lot of Tar Heel fans, but we gained a lot of support from them as well. And our students and our fan base was amazing. I mean, we had people painted up, and our student section was sold out. It was crazy.
But on this particular night, with them coming back from their tremendous deal playing Michigan State on the Battleship in San Diego, that was a special experience for them. And them coming back with that trip, I was hoping for a little more jet lag, but and I thought it was a night that we might have snuck up on them, but they played well, and they were big and strong. They pounded it inside, and they came out victorious. But that game was special in all of our fans' minds. A lot of our fans are North Carolina fans also, but that game kind of started off the season well.
With the record of 2-2 on the young season, the Bulldogs traveled to the Bahamas to take part in the prestigious Battle for Atlantis.
Played Connecticut and other teams and gave ourselves a chance to win in those games.
We didn't do as well as we would have liked down there, but we played Connecticut to a real close game. Played a really good game, should have beat College of Charleston, and then won against Utah.
The Bulldogs had found their identity on offense and were one of the highest scoring teams in the country heading into the heart of their Big South Conference schedule. However, Asheville was brought back to earth after a poor performance against regional rival Western Carolina, as they fell to the Catamounts 86-67 at the Ramsey Center in their first game back from winter break.
Ultimately, as a team, we kind of went through some difficulties right before that game, and it kind of showed when we played Western Carolina that that we weren't all on the same page.
The Western Carolina game, although we suffered a loss, it sparked I want to say more of like a fire within us. Jeremy Harn, who hadn't played much, he was I believe he was a redshirt senior. He came in and gave us wonderful minutes off the bench, which end up to him getting more minutes during the season? And
well, the Western Carolina game was the game that we turned it around, I would say. I remember that one very well because, we had played probably the worst game of the year in that game. We got beat by a team that we should have beat. They're a good team, don't get me wrong, but we should have beat them. And they kind of just handed it to us down there, and we played terrible. We came back after that game and talked in the locker room for about 30, 45 minutes after. And, we just told each other, we said, if we're going to win a championship, we have to get it together. And
but it was kind of like a bonding game for us. We lost that game, but, we had to put that game behind us, and it was a stepping stone for us. Coach didn't start Chris and I, and, that was, I think, was a learning point to us. And not only that, but Jeremy Harn started and did a phenomenal job for us. And that game, we found that Jeremy Harn could help us out, and he did throughout the rest of the season.
With the renewed commitment to playing together as a team, the Bulldogs went back to work in preparation for the Big South Conference season. Coach Biedenbach, not wanting to see his team fall back on bad habits, resorted to name-calling to get his players' attention.
Him calling us 50-cent millionaires, and I wouldn't be surprised if all the seniors said this one.
50-cent millionaires.
When Coach says 50-cent millionaires, he ultimately said that because he felt like we were satisfied with having the new Kimmel Arena, and we were satisfied with winning the championship last year.
And I called our guys 50-cent millionaires, which goes back way long time ago through Press Maravich and Norm Sloan calling us 50-cent millionaires when we didn't work as hard as we should work.
At first it was kind of tough to swallow because we were, I believe it happened midway through our conference, and we were at the top where I think we were like 9-1 or 9-2 or something like that, and we were all confused, because he always seems to think that like once we move into the new arena, we would become complacent with the fact that we have a new arena and the fact that we won a championship last year, so it would make us not work as hard as we're supposed to. But he kept reiterating that to us, which kept us focused to prove him wrong.
Coach Biedenbach's 50-cent millionaires got the message, as the Bulldogs went 15-3 over the final 18 games of the regular season, including a 7-game win streak immediately following the loss to the Catamounts. 6 seniors were a big part of UNC Asheville's success on and off the court, and each brought a style and personality all their own to the Bulldogs.
This year we have 6 seniors, 4 of whom started the whole season. You have to start by talking about J.P. Primm and Matt Dickey.
I could talk for days about these guys.
Yeah, I'll start off with Matt Dickey, Player of the Year, all-around cool guy. He's probably one of the best dudes I ever met in my life.
JP and Matt, they were kind of like brothers. Everywhere I saw Matt, I would see JP. Everywhere I would see JP, I would see Matt, except for in class. Those two guys inspired me to want to push past the point of being tired and being fatigued. They would always be in the gym shooting extra shots after practice or before practice. They would drag me to the gym sometimes because I'm really lazy.
JP, me and him, we've been like best buddies since we came in, roomed together, and I was able to play with him and just play alongside him. Us playing the 1-2 position for 4 years was it was awesome.
Matt Dickey, he's a great guy. He's, one of our leaders that we had, more of kind of a lead by example kind of guy. He done things, on the court. He's not going to say too much, but he'll say enough that, that you have to respect what he says, and he does so much stuff, off the court.
JP was a phenomenal athlete coming out of high school, played extremely hard on the offensive and defensive end, but he learned to play defense in college. JP was our vocal leader, and he did just a tremendous job on and off the court holding his team together. Then you go to his counterpart, Matt Dickey. Those 2 guards were starting for us for 4 years. They led us in every category and emotionally on and off the court. Where JP was a vocal leader, Matt was a on the court led by example of what he did every day in practice and what he did to prepare for games. Matt Dickey emotionally meant more to this team than anybody can imagine, with his effort, his attitude, and his great play.
And then probably my favorite would be Chris Stephenson. You know, that's probably my best friend. You know, we've been roommates for the past couple of years, and we're both from Florida. It's kind of weird because when we start out knowing each other, we actually hated each other. We were rivals.
I remember I first met him, I couldn't stand him. I don't know, I just didn't like him. I didn't get along with him. In AAU, in high school, and every time we played each other, we each, you know, played really hard. And then when we found out that we were going to the same university, you know, we kind of became really close. And, you know, he's like a brother to me now. We had like a rough practice one day, and he was yelling at me, and I was yelling at him. And like afterwards, he was like, I don't care if you're mad at me, but together we got to get better as a team. And then once he said that to me, like from there on out, I knew that like, he would always have my best interest at heart. And we just ran together. Whenever JP and Dickey would go to the gym and shoot, we would just flip-flop.
Chris Stephenson was a great player for us for 3 years, has more ability than anybody realizes.
And Chris Stephenson, you know, we sometimes, you know, talk about Chris, how he, you know, spazzes out sometimes, but like I said, he's an emotional kind of guy, and, you know, he done so many things well for us this year that, you know, without him, we couldn't have won games.
Because you got Chris, who's, you know, an incredible athlete, incredible player. Quinard, who just, you know, he stepped up huge for us last year, and then this year he just plays his tail off all the time. His defense is incredible.
Quinard Jackson was a special guy. Was a great team player, emotionally, physically. Not a tremendous scorer, but he made shots that counted. Not a tremendous rebounder, but he got the rebounds that counted. He would pick, he would play, he ran offense and defense better than anybody there.
Quinard Jackson is another guy that is a glue guy that, you know, his minutes, if you looked on the stat sheet, his points and rebounds, it wouldn't seem like that, you know, he's going to get, you know, 20 a game and 10 rebounds, but Quinard is a guy that you have to have on your team.
And then Madison and Jeremy, who did nothing wrong, I would think, for the 4 years that we're here, and were great leaders for us on and off the court. You know, Jeremy was able to step up in a starting role in the middle of the season, and really, I thought, gave us the boost that we needed going into conference.
2 walk-ons that really helped us. Madison Davis, great emotional leader on and off the court.
Maddie.
Jeremy Harn, same thing, great emotional leader on and off the court. Both young men, great student athletes, great students, great athletes, played hard every day in practice and prepared us for every single game.
They meant a lot to our program because they were just there with us the whole time. Whenever we would have a rough practice or a rough situation, a rough game, they would always be there to motivate us. They never had anything negative to say. And that's kind of what you need sometimes, you know. You have fiery people and you have people who motivate you and reassure you that you're doing the right things. And those guys were particularly special to our team.
Jeremy, late in his career, got a chance to start for us on several occasions. Was the most productive player ever at UNC Asheville every time he was in the game. The team played better when he played. Those 6 seniors all graduated in 4 years. And just made us all very proud of them academically, as well as back-to-back championships for 2 years. You can't do that with you can't replace or can't do what those 6 guys did collectively for this school.
And welcome back to Kimmel Arena. It's a final 67-55 as Asheville gets the win over Winthrop, sweeps them on the season, and ends up at 16-2, first place in the Big South. And the team is going to be presented the regular season trophy. It's a pretty nice trophy, Tank.
I was afraid we wore ourselves out. That game was on a Thursday. We had Winthrop on Saturday, and I said, "This is bad. We have spent ourselves in practice and in that game with High Point." And so Friday we had a very light practice and just went over kind of what Winthrop did. and I was scared to death going into the Winthrop game. I thought they had a real chance to beat us at home here, and we were leading the league. So anyway, our players surprised me and really set the stage for the end of the season. We really beat Winthrop handily. There was they had no chance in that game. Our players played great offensively and defensively. They were not tired, and it showed me we had done more preparation early in the year and to get to where we were, to be the kind of team we were.
The Bulldogs won the regular season Big South title for the first time since 2008 and earned the #1 seed in the 2012 Advanced Auto Parts Big South Championship. With a dominating 86-61 victory over High Point in the Big South Conference Tournament's quarterfinals, the Bulldogs advanced to the semifinals of the tournament for the 6th straight year, a claim no school can make in the conference at this time. Standing in their way for a trip to the title game was Charleston Southern, the only team besides North Carolina Chapel Hill that had defeated Asheville at Kimmel Arena.
The Charleston Southern game.
We said that it was going to be a track meet. This game could be in the high 80s or 90s. These two teams can really get out and run.
Because, you know, they beat us on our court, you know, a couple weeks earlier, and that was the only loss that we had at home. And we came back in the tournament and we smacked them pretty good. So
3 games in the tournament were very, very special games to our fans. We had packed house here at the New Kimmel Arena, and the fans were just phenomenal.
But the championship game here against VMI, I felt like, you know, all 5 of the starters really played well. That's one of the games I kind of hope coaches, you know, talks about when he speaks to the team about championships and playing together.
That championship was much bigger than myself or any actual player on the basketball team. For the community, it was a humongous stepping stone. Also, just because of the fact of we've worked so hard. Like the generations before us worked so hard. John Williams, even he won a ring, but when he was a freshman and a sophomore, they worked so hard. I remember seeing them lose in the conference championship to Winthrop. I want to say it was in 2008, maybe 2007. And I remember seeing that, and it was just like, I don't want that to be us. And then I guess I put it in myself to make sure that I at least got 1 ring. And then with the group of seniors or freshmen that came in with us, we all decided that we're going to win at least 1 ring while we were here. And then it was 1, and once we won 1, it was 2. And then we got the whole community behind us, and now they're already selling season tickets.
Man, it's something that a lot of you know, Division I or anybody can say that they've done, and you know, just to be a part of, you know, a team that winning back-to-back championships is amazing. You know, we joke around. You know, I have, you know, friends and stuff that, you know, won 1 ring or don't have any, and you know, I'm like, you know, I got 2.
2012 Advanced Auto Parts Big South Conference Men's Basketball Championship Most Valuable Player is from UNC Asheville, J.P.
I was so excited for him. You know, it was everybody wants to get that honor. Everybody wants to, you know, be named all conference, but our main goal as a team, and me and JP, Chris and Q, Jerron, all the guys, you know, our main goal was to win a championship, and we had done that. And for him to be named tournament MVP, you know, we all thought that he should have been on first team, and that really, I thought that, you know, I felt like I didn't deserve Player of the Year outright. I felt like me and JP really should have shared it because, you know, and really our whole team, you know, could share it. But I thought that he should have really been on first team, and he came in with something to prove in the tournament, we all thought. And he had a good focus, and he was ready, and he had a great tournament and helped lead us to a championship. So I was as proud as I could be for him.
But to win the conference tournament, to win the championship regular season in this arena was really special. But what the arena did for our team, the Justice Center was a great place to play. We won a lot of games there. It was tough for other teams to come in there. It was compact, and players were fans were right on top of you. The Kimmel Arena, our players were so proud. What this arena meant to them, it made them proud of Asheville, proud of our school, proud of our team, proud to walk out there in an arena like this to represent our university. This arena helped us win this second championship, the back-to-back. It helped us. It helped us in the tournament. It helped us in the regular season. So this arena has meant so much to this basketball team and to this city. And to win it on our own court with our fans there and them rushing the court, I still get emotional about the after game and what it meant to this school to win here in Asheville with a packed house.
For the second year in a row, the Bulldogs gathered at the Highsmith Union for the NCAA selection show. For the second year in a row, the Bulldogs would have to square off against one of the top teams in the nation. The tough draw did little to curb the Bulldogs' enthusiasm. Team captain Matt Dickey was eager for a chance to play Syracuse for more than one reason.
I'm going to tell you a quick story. I won't make it as long as Coach B's stories. But there is a guy here, Director of Basketball Operations, his first year. He was a Syracuse grad. His name is Matt Reynolds, if you want to. He's right over here on the side. And I'll tell you this, we've given him a hard time about Syracuse and, you know, us possibly playing them. But I know he was really nervous about today, hoping that we wouldn't play him. And I know exactly why that is. It's because the Bulldogs are about to go into Pittsburgh and knock his boys off. We were really confident. You know, some people, I tell them that and they're surprised, you know, because we're UNC Asheville, we're a smaller school, and, you know, we were playing a #1 seed and somebody, I mean, a lot of people could have said who could have been the top seed, top #1, but, you know, it was a 116. Not many people gave us a chance to win, but we went in with confidence. You know, we had seen zones before. Obviously, nothing like Syracuse, but we'd seen zones before. We had great shooters on the outside, so we knew that you know, if we got hot, that we could really stay with them. And we had just smart play. I thought we had, you know, a smart game plan. Coach Carey had the scout for that game, and he did a great job of getting us ready and having different things that no one else had done during the whole year against their zone. We had certain plays that we had and certain positions just in our offense that we were able to beat the zone and you know, stay with them in a game that we feel that we definitely should have won. But you know, we were very prepared, and you know, I actually told the guys right before we went out to the game, I said, hey, when we're up at halftime, don't be surprised, because we should be.
I was so proud of I couldn't have been more proud of the guys, the way we played, the way we competed, the way we got ready for the game. You know, and Matt, you know, he told us right before the game, he was like, you know, don't be surprised when we're up at halftime.
Then go on and play Syracuse, and that game kind of speaks for itself. Had a chance to win, played very well, prepared very well. Our team was great coming out of the tournament. We were a much better basketball team at that point than we had been all year, and we were primed to beat Syracuse, and thought we were the best team that night. We had some tough calls in the game, and Syracuse played well, and we could have won that game.
One call in particular raised eyebrows not only in the arena, but across the nation. On an inbounds play with less than 40 seconds remaining, the Bulldogs found themselves down by 3 points. Running a full-court press, Syracuse appeared to throw the ball away. The Orange were able to hold off the Bulldogs the rest of the way, earning a 72-65 victory in the process and ending UNC Asheville's magical season.
Oh man, I was really hurt, and you know, I really don't cry too much after games because, you know, at the beginning of every game, I'm like, you know, I want to lay it all on the floor, and just even though, you know, that some of the calls didn't go the way that they should have or we wanted them to, they made a couple good plays down the stretch, and you know, there was a really good team.
But yeah, I mean, I was sad, obviously, you know, and we all were, especially the seniors, because you know, you don't get another chance. As much as we've told Coach B, you know, hey, if you can get us back for one more year somehow on a 50-year deal, that would be great.
At first I was sad, but then, you know, when I thought of all the great things besides the loss, you know, I quickly picked up my attitude. And
of course we were all upset, but in my mind, I was thinking to myself, if there's any way to go out on a situation or a game, why not be that way? You know, we had an opportunity and our opportunity was taken from us. It wasn't that they went out and they beat us 9 times out of 10. Like, I'm pretty sure anyone would say that they would beat us, but not that particular day.
The Bulldogs had captured the hearts and minds of a nation with their almost upset. Asheville made the front page of newspapers and websites across the country, as did the controversy that surrounded the game.
That we'd left it all on the floor. I mean, so we were proud about that, but you know, it was also the upset feelings and knowing that we should have won. And you know, I remember right after the game, my thoughts were, you know, I just thanked God for the opportunity, you know, and thanked the guys. Went up to them and said, you know, that there's, you know, not much else we could have done, and you know, that we played our tails off, and that we deserved to win, but you know, not everything fell the way we wanted to that day.
It was, you know, definitely a fun game, and you know, don't like the way the ending came out, but you know, it was a great game, and we got great exposure off of it.
Still, that Syracuse game was special nationally, and what it meant to our fans all over the country and our alumni. So great season for UNC Asheville, for me personally, and for this team.
With the season now over, the seniors had time to reflect on not only the program they had helped build, but also their last season in Asheville with head coach Eddie Biedenbach.
What Coach B has either taught me or he joked about, I would say probably the popcorn is popping. You know, whenever the popcorn is popping, then you'll do it. He likes that slogan, and it was kind of funny because we was at practice, and you know, we was practicing during for the tournament here.
Some of the guys brought in a popcorn machine one day to practice, and he had said that line, and as soon as he said it, we had pulled the popcorn machine from behind the bleachers. And so Jeremy and Madison, so they actually get a popcorn popper, and so they hide it behind the bleachers, and you know, and soon we came out to practice, you know, they pushed it out and hooked it up, and it was actually popping popcorn during practice. And it was just it was a good time. Everyone was laughing. We all stopped and ate popcorn. And then as soon as we finished the popcorn, the whistle was back in his mouth, and he was back to work. And I think he yelled at me at the next play for missing a dunk.
And we would go over, and you know, we'd have some popcorn. We was like, popcorn is popping now, Coach, so we're ready. So
honestly, the first thing I think of when I think of Coach Biedenbach is that he's a player coach. And I say that because he, in some way, somehow, he connects with all his players, even if it's getting under your skin by making you mad or telling you a joke to make you happy, and then quickly telling another bad joke to make you know that that joke wasn't a joke. You know, somehow, some way, Eddie finds out a way to get under your skin and make you a better player than what you were when you came, so that when you leave, you're not only a better player, but you are a better person, and you actually finally become a man.
You know, I'm gonna take a lot of things from Coach B of what he's taught me, and you know, and how he, you know, broke down stuff for me, and how he's just letting, you know, me learn as I went, and has allowed you know, to be flexible towards us, and you know, let us mess up because we were a young team at first, and but like I said, everything was great, and it was a really good year.
But as a team, we came together so well, and I mean, I established bonds with our seniors that could never be broken, and I mean, I love these guys to death.
And to be a part of a team of guys who wanted to be the best at everything they did, and wanted to win a championship, and didn't care about individual stuff, and was just focused on the team. You know, it was great.
The Bulldogs set a new standard for success this past season, winning a school record 24 games. The Bulldogs also won the Big South Conference regular season and tournament championships for the first time in school history. Jeremy Atkinson, Chris Stephenson, and J.P. Primm were named to the Big South's All-Tournament team. J.P. Primm was named the Big South's All-Conference second team and earned tournament MVP honors, while Matt Dickey was named to the conference's first team and was voted the Big South's Player of the Year by the league's coaches. The 2011 and 12 season will live forever in the hearts and minds of UNC Asheville fans who watched their team come so close to making history.